me now, the man front and center for the GOP throughout this very long day, Congressman Doug Collins, ranking member on House Judiciary. Congressman, we knew this was going to happen. It's kind of a kind of a big deal moment, historically, but it was a shock how many falsehoods were told throughout the day, repeatedly told, which I guess was their strategy all along.
Well, it was, because when you don't have anything, you just have to make it up. And what were amazing to me, and I was talking to some of my staff about this today, it was amazing how throughout the day, adjectives and adverbs became the calling of the day. The highest of high crimes and misdemeanors. The amazing things that this president did, they couldn't ever lay it down because they had no case. We knocked their case down consistently, and yet they still try to lie to the American people all day today.
Congressman Susan Davis from California, she was one of the final speakers who spoke, and it was a long day. Like, a lot of people are like, I didn't know that person was a congressman. Like, if you're watching, like, huh, never seen that person before. This is what she said.
We are not impeaching this president. He is impeaching himself. If you are the president and you obstruct justice, try to bribe a foreign leader, and threaten national security, you're going to get impeached.
She got a lot of applause for that. So it's basically a day-long defamation if you're bribing a foreign leader. Of course, not an article of impeachment they decided to go with.
Oh, I had to bring that up a lot today because one of the things is, it was one, she's 3 strikes, she's out. I mean, she lied. There's no obstruction, there's no bribing. If it was, they'd have put it in the articles, Laura. You know that. And I had to bring this up with Mr. Schiff, who has, and we've all done, he has a lot of trouble with the truth. He has a lot of trouble with anything past himself. And we had to bring this up to him. If you thought all these crimes were in there, if you thought he did this, then why didn't you put it in the articles? The reason is you don't have it. This is nothing but a vendetta against a president that they can't stand. The one that they have looked at and they said, he'll fail, he'll fail. And you know what he did? He came here and told the truth. He said, I'm running on this and I'm doing it. He took the American economy, turned it around. He took our American military, made them stronger. He went overseas, made us respected again. And what is so despicable about today, there's one thing that really bothered me the most. They talk about President Zelensky, and when he wouldn't cooperate with their story, they then had to trash him.
Trash him. That's
the
what
majority Democrats have trashed President Zelensky as a liar, and we even had one in the House Judiciary Committee actually call him a battered wife. This is how ridiculous and how dangerous this Democratic majority is, and the Republican minority has witnessed it all year.
As Nadler was closing out tonight after the vote, he said that, he can't act like a dictator. So we have the ranking member here at Judiciary, the head of the Judiciary Committee, calling the President of the United States a dictator, and they think they're going to win on that in a robust economy. I mean, that kind of just summed it up. Pathetic. If you're so strong on your facts, why do you have to go there?
Well, you don't, because if you're not strong in your facts, you have to make it up. You have to deflect. You have to distract. And that's all they did today. What I did think was really interesting today is when Adam Schiff, for the first time, actually showed up. I was impressed he actually came to a hearing. He never wanted to come to ours. But when he showed up and we started pushing back on him, he just quietly sat down.
Yeah.
Because we weren't even getting directly answering. But when we pushed back on his lies, he couldn't come back with it. If you had such a strong case and you were the impeachment guru of your party, you would have stood up and made that case long. He had nothing.
By the way, the member is instructed to address the chair throughout this proceeding.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, all day long. It's like, the member is instructed. It was just funny. I had to say that. I just thought it would be cool to say that once. All right, this was kind of a moment. This is Pelosi after the first vote was tallied for the first article of impeachment, and the reaction. Watch.
The yeas are 230. The nays are 197. Present is 1. Article 1 is adopted. The question.
Oh, Mommy was mad. Mommy was mad. Their grandma was mad. She's like, But they were starting to whoop and holler.
Look, I started my day with this and saying, how can you be somber and upset about something you've been wanting for,
Do you buy any of that, the prayerful?
No, it's not, there's no prayerful to this. They've been wanting it for 3 years. This is like somebody going around and saying, I really want this car, I really want this car. And all of a sudden I say, well, here's your car. And you say, I'm really somber about it. Thank you. So, no, they were holding it in. And when, as you said, the speaker got upset there, somebody's in timeout tonight because that was off script and they knew that it shouldn't happen. Because it doesn't play well.
Can you believe we're here? I mean, can you believe? They wanted to do it, but I've got to say, I never thought they had the guts. So, what was going through your mind as you're stepping up every minute and a half? You're on your feet today.
Oh, it was surreal. It was really a moment saying, really, this is what you're basing everything on. You've had more subpoenas issued than laws passed. You've had lie after lie. You started with Mueller. You started with actually Whitaker. Remember that fiasco with Mr. Nadler way back when? Then we went to Mueller. Then we went to this. They have promised their base something. They're like in a relationship saying, I've got to keep feeding this base. If they don't like me, if I don't give them something, even if I have to lie to them. And they've been lying to them, and it finally caught up with them. I've said this all along. The clock and the calendars drove this whole thing. And that's what happened today.
Do you think she ultimately sends the articles of impeachment to the Senate? Yes or no?
That's going to be interesting. I would assume she'd have to, but if she doesn't,
she hinted. We're going to get into this next.
Ready.
She hinted that that's not going to happen.
Right.
Congressman, you did a phenomenal job today, and we really appreciate all your hard work.
It's always good.
Nancy Pelosi, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.